My guest today is the man when it comes to proxy design and corporate communications. Iain Poole is one of the first to enter the proxy design profession over a decade and a half ago. He saw something that few of us did. He's a managing director for Argyle, a shop that specializes in proxy design, with many former in-house lawyers on his team. I've known Iain a long time. We worked together 20 years ago at R.R. Donnelly, and he really knows his stuff, as you'll soon see. Not only that, he's a great friend, a thoughtful person, and has a broad worldview due to his international background and experience. I'm Brock Romanek today on Zippy Point. So Iain, how are companies putting their best foot forward when they're talking about their company strategy?
So I think first of all, they're looking to their annual reports and investor presentations and working closely with the teams down the hall in investor relations and corporate communications. The business model, the strategy, how the company makes money, the context in which it operates is a theme that we're more used to seeing in the annual report than in the proxy statement. That being said, we're seeing a number of companies integrate their strategy into their proxy at the beginning of the document to explain what the company does, and particularly with regard to the CD&A to link it explicitly to the company's compensation program. Yeah, so Catherine Smith and Elizabeth Henson joined Exelon, I believe, at approximately the same time in 2018. And together they rolled their sleeves up and set about really revamping their proxy statement. And although we've chosen it here to talk about strategy and the way that the company presents strategy, you could also look to this document for best practices on how to present the board and bring the board to life, corporate purpose, financial returns, whatever topic it may be that is current in proxy disclosures. Exelon deals with it pretty well. So at the beginning of the document, they have this overview of the company's strategy, but what I really want to talk about is the way that they address strategy at the beginning of their CD&A. So at pretty much every conference that I've attended back when we used to physically attend conferences, I've listened to investors say, we want to learn about your strategy, what it is, how you're performing against your strategy, and with regard to the CD&A, how it's linked to the compensation program and compensation outcomes. And the document that I've heard cited most as one that does a terrific job in this regard is Exelon. So here, right at the beginning of the CD&A, Catherine, Elizabeth, and the team present the business and the strategy and the performance highlights from 2019. And then right away on the next page, you can see the company's 5 strategic imperatives in an extremely simple chart. So the business objective, number 1, the compensation component or metric that is tied to the business objective, number 2, and then the results from 2019. So you have this one page at a glance that gives you an overview of the company's strategy, the reasons, the rationale for each metric being chosen, and the outcomes from 2019. It's sort of a distilled performance overview of the CD&A that ties in the metrics and the rationale as well. So I think that this works really well, and I understand that investors appreciate this sort of presentation as well.
And then how about General Electric?
So I think one of the things that General Electric does so well is that the teams work together and are really tightly aligned on the same page. Mary-Kate Mullaney leads the annual report, participates in the drafting of the letter from the chairman. Brian Sandstrom and Julia Chen work on the proxy statement, and they really walk in lockstep with the messages. So GE simplified their annual report a couple of years ago. It was actually called out by Jim Cramer on Mad Money as being a terrific example of an annual report that does a really good job of simply and transparently presenting the company's story. And in the course of his letter, Mr. Culp talks about the company's 2 key priorities that he lays out for the following years. So what the team did with regard to the proxy statement is take that narrative and distill it down into a 2-page chart. So this really walks in lockstep with the annual report. The presentation is the same, it looks and feels the same, and tells the company's story with the same voice. So on the left, we have a reminder of GE and its vast footprint, what the company does. And then we have these two priorities with progress made in the course of the year, aligned with the company's objectives. And then finally, you have the company's divisions: power, renewables, aviation, healthcare, and capital. The mission of each division, each individual division, the installed base, which gives readers an impression of the breadth of the GE portfolio throughout the world, and then individual progress for 2019. So this is right at the front of the document. It's this two-page spread that introduces readers to GE, highlights the breadth and the complexity of the company, really sets the stage for the discussion of the CEO and NEO's performance that follows, walks in lockstep with the annual report, and does a good job telling the company's story.
Great stuff. Thank you very much, Iain.